Okay, this one's a second month 1980 HJ45. That's H engine, 4-speed, drum brakes. I was going to swear, how sweet's this one? This one's a bloody doozy. This one, why I love this one is it's off the farm. So less and less are we seeing these still used as farm vehicles. Well, here's a specimen where it comes from out at Warrick way. And we do know the last 17 years, it's been on a dairy farm, unregistered for many years on a dairy farm, working the paddocks, rounding up those old Friesians. And that probably accounts for some of the rust underneath, because I don't know if you know this, but cow shit, it flicks up on the wheels and the old steel panels do not like it at all. And over time, if not addressed, it starts rotting underneath the guards. You see it a lot in this section. On a guard underneath, the cow shit sits up in there and rots them out. Well, this one, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked about cow poo. This one's been on a farm for 17 years and now Peter owns it. Peter's only owned it for a few months, but guess what? Peter needs it for the farm. So it's going from one farm to another farm. It's going to go and get some produce. It's going to go and just do pickups in general. Probably not going to work as hard as it did for the last 40 years, but Pete knows it's a good, reliable work vehicle for a farm, so that's why Pete's purchased it. Now, Pete's only owned it for a little while. In that time, Pete tells me before he owned it, it's had a engine transplant. I'll go into a bit of detail because we've had to change a few things, but somebody's rebuilt a 2H and removed the H and put the 2H in there. It had a cracked head, found it hard to get a head. It was easy to get a 2H. And Peter's got the receipts for when the engine was rebuilt some years ago. So now she's rocking the 2H. And then Peter comes across it. Now Peter's got it. Engine's pretty strong. So he brings it to Mr Landcruiser. And that's where we work our magic. It's now got the 5-speed and it's also got the turbo set up. I think the little giveaway from the outside that's taken away from the farm spec look, we'll note the whistle and soot snorkel on the other side. That's a little indication that she's hiding a turbo under there. While it's also in here, we'll look at the outside of the vehicle. It has, it didn't come in here with that bumper bar. Now that's, we have them on the shelf. I see them advertised everywhere. Anyway, we've got that on the shelf, on the website, $595 for a genuine bar. I'm just saying the price because I see them out there for $700, but it's $595 for a genuine bar. We do the number plate holders, whatever. It's on the website. So we've added that for a look. It had a bit of, I don't know, corrugated stuff on the front that we've chucked out. It wasn't a good look. The back of it's already loaded with stuff. Peter's neighbour owns one of these, so between them they're going to keep all the spare parts from gearboxes and the old exhaust system, throw it in the back and they'll keep them as spares. Love the old tray. It's got the wooden deck, my favourite, that's what I'm running, and that would come up a treat if ever restored. Still running the splitties, really good condition, no rust on them. It's nice to see the old splitties, how Mr Toyota intended it, are still on there. And we've got the Mr Landcruiser's got the high lift jack mount on the outside to hold the high lift winch in place. That's the outside, ain't she? A bloody doozy. Let's lift the bonnet and talk about what Mr Landcruiser's had to do to fit this turbo. Now it's come up a treat. When it first come in here, fair play to whoever's done it. They've done it, there's no manual. You can't just read the manual and throw an engine in there. You've got to give it a crack. So someone's given it a crack and the mounts were a little bit wrong. They're still using the mounts off the bell housing. So when we've gone 5-speed, now we've gone and put the McKinnon's, which we stock. So we just grabbed a McKinnon's 5-speed cross member, whacked that where it should be, and we tidied up the mounts where the engine sits as well. So it's all sits where it's meant to. And that leads me to, it's not running a fan. It's got an electric fan. I'd say that is because whoever's put it in there didn't really mock it up how I say we would mock it up. So they've there was no room for a fan and they put the electric one in there. It's holding really great temperatures. It's not in here to be to be touched with as far as that's concerned, so we're just leaving that alone while the temps are good. That's up to Peter. But it is running now. Look at this shiny bit of kit. It's got the whistle and soot, turbo, air filter box, snorkel and exhaust. Now why it's got the exhaust is because we've returned everything the way it should be. How it was, there was no way that whistle and soot exhaust system was going to bolt up there, but moving cross members and brackets and stuff to where they should be, it's plumbed up bloody beautiful. So this one's running the 3.5 straight through, no res, a pipe right through to the rear, and it just gives it a really, really sweet note. That and a 5-speed, what could you ask for? What more could you ask for? Okay, listen to that. Oh yeah, just a sweet old farm tilly at its best. It is beautiful, absolutely stunning. I just need to take a little moment to draw it all in. I love this. It's just comes straight off the paddock. Now it's got a pull stop, so no, you don't turn it off with a key, you just pull down here. And it's also got a gauge. It's got a gauge. We put the 2-in-1 SAS pyro and boost, and we do it so we're not drilling in. This dash already has a few holes in it, but we do it so we're not drilling any more holes into it. We keep it nice, consolidated down here, easy to read. We have customers' request. We're allowed to cut the original floor. It's pretty patched up anyway. We've cut the original floor to put the 5-speed stick further back, so it's all, everything's plumbed in now, and the floor, everything's where it should be now. The handbrake, the sticks, we bend the sticks, so some guys put 60 series this in, that in. We modify it so the sticks can stay there, the handbrake can stay where it is. Now this one, this is a little bit different. It's just as achievable. You choose when you come to Mr Landcruiser. This one's got the handbrake on the back of the 5-speed. So being a 1980, we could either change the rear axle, or Peter, the owner of this, had a whole heap of parts. He bought us a gearbox, and so we've pinched bits off the 4-speed, put the handbrake on the back of the back of the 5-speed, and now it's set up in sort of a factory style there, so we haven't had to modify the rear axle at all. Look at the hood line, and that's definitely genuine. She's all fallen down. And the old speakers, I don't even know if they're plugged into anything. Again, just an old farm rig off a dairy farm. And it's got a just a plank. It's a chopping board. Make your sandwiches up the top here on the wooden plank. I wouldn't risk leaving my stubby or anything up there when you go around the corner. Definitely good for cutting up a cooked chook and making a sanger. That's it. This future plans for Peter is to use this thing now, take it back to the farm, go throw some produce in the back, go throw some barbed wire and some fertilizer in the back, really sit it down on the axle and work this old bad boy 2H. Remember, it's had a rebuild, it's got the turbo, it's going to climb the hills of his farm, no worries. It's been great having it in here. I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed driving it too. Lots of character in the old farm ones. This is a second month 1980 HJ45.